Playing the Nautilus into this, though, is going to be so tricky in the early laning phase. Surprised to see that, especially with so many range supports available here. I mean, playing something like Bard Corki doesn't feel great, as Doran is also backing right now. Not that they could take it immediately here, but it's full control as Kuma.
X-Flash. Just Arcane Shift, able to get himself out of there as Faker dealing with some rocks here that are on the ground as Carrier looking for an opportunity, finds the snare, and that is first blood to the Nico.
At this moment in time, but a lot of pressure here on the top side of the map. There's a minute before Grubs. Kuma got a barrier.
Yeah, barrier coming on through, Super returning the favor. As Doran has been in this brush, it feels like, for a while. As he flashes forward, just looks for the solo kill, needs another harpoon. Just one more, and Merwin will go down. He silences himself, but he's not silenced after that, and that is a solo kill here for the Rumble.
And so he's putting that pressure on at the same time, as the flash here is not enough. Doran follows, gets the flamethrower, and Owner a bit overextended.
I actually thought that there might be another turret shot coming for him there, and that would have been a dead Owner, but he is able to get out just in time. Kumiushi finding the true shot barrage is now Faker in trouble yet again. Keeper's Verdict does get the flash out, and Faker does go down. Elyoya brings the hammer down and takes out the GOAT. So I think it's going to be one back for MCoY.
Still in their favor, but you can see the edges that MCoY are able to pick up just from that mid matchup alone. Alvaro, though,
this is not exactly where he wants to be and can't even get the Aftershock to do anything. And so he is just going to melt. This should be that T1 can now turn that into a dragon and really start to assert their dominance as Faker looks for an angle. Don't know whether he really wanted to, but that was it was kind of fun, kind of exciting.
We'll just try to keep Jojo away. Jojo didn't even have ult, though, to try to come over here and contest for this dragon. And with the death on Alvaro there, I just don't think.
Well, he is going to be able to make it underneath his turret. That should keep them alive. His Owner is spotted, but Alvaro also in an uncomfortable position. Doran also might need to try and get out of here. Didn't have the flash, so he has no hope of making that happen. Still, this Nautilus is in trouble. The Pop Blossom only finding one, but Jojo just melts. Owner destroys him by accident as he's killing the Nautilus. Merwin might suffer the same fate. Decent sidestep there on the Q. But actually, he's going to survive. Merwin pretty good at dabbing so far this tournament. Yeah. He's going to do it again.
He certainly is quite...
So Doran not going to be able to sink his teeth in as Dragon number 2 coming on through here for T1. Are we going to get Earth, Wind, and Fire to start this off for T1 yet again? I feel like they do it all the time.
Well, they end up getting the double lead. It's going to be Hextech even better. Some of these leads, though, for T1 are, I think, smaller than they may appear. Like when you look at a 1,000 gold lead, is Jojo stunned off the wall.
Yeah, not going to be riding that one towards his turret, and just one more auto is going to be required. Owner misses another Q, but he's in melee range, so it's going to be absolutely fine. Elyoya a little bit late to this one.
I mean, that's a free Herald.
Yeah, and that's also going to be feats of strength as well. So T1 taking everything that they want from this map right now.
I mean, I was going to make the point that Owner having 3 kills, now 4
on the map at any one time as he pulls out the clone. True Shot Barrage spots out exactly where Elyoya is. And now Rift Herald thrown into this mid lane, and we'll see whether T1 can crack this turret. That would be so much control of the map. It would actually be ridiculously bad for MCoY. As Doran over to the side, he finds an equalizer here and has started off the fight, breaks the arm guard to make sure he doesn't get flicked back as Super, having to flash himself out of the way. Elyoya doing exactly the same thing, but Owner is flashing on top of him. Jojo, no mana and no hope to get out of this one, but does hit a very nice shove with the last remaining bit of blue stuff to keep himself alive, and Alvaro not going to be as lucky, so that is all they're able to pick up. We mentioned how valuable this outer turret is in mid.
Yeah.
That is also going to fall.
It's Supa's also dead, I think. Well,
here?
Yeah, he's dead.
He's real dead.
Also, the inner is going to go down in mid.
Oh, okay. Wasn't quite expecting that, as Empress Divide is going to be avoided. That was pretty nicely done from Elyoya, as Merwin just going to get cut down. And the main carry, I mean, they took down the GOAT. That's great. But it's Owner that's really doing all the work this game.
Yeah, Owner actually should be able to get out of here, no problem as well.
But it's not going to be this Otacon. It's not going to be the sole point. And it's maybe the next Baron? Maybe it's their base turrets? I don't know. Pop Blossom only going to connect onto one, though, as Carrier kind of going rogue in this one. Merwin throws down the ulti as Owner gets into that backline, not quite able to get over that wall. And now another angle from Kerry is going to get found. Oh my goodness, he actually does a fair bit of damage. True Shot Barrage to finish off JoJo is beautiful by Gumayusi. I don't even know whether that should have worked, but they're so far ahead. 3 minutes on Hextech Soul, ladies and gentlemen. And now Moen trying to deal with this push from T1, and oh god, the equalizer just takes 50% of both of the carries' health bars as Faker has found Alvaro, and yeah, Aftershock is not going to help you there. As Ona gets flicked back, but it just looks like it does nothing but tickle this Pantheon. And MCoY really running out of options here in this game. Maybe the focus is going to be on what are we going to do to make sure this doesn't happen in Game 2. And ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Fearless Draft. It's not going to happen like this again as Pop Blossom trying to catch Super, and Ona, he finds the Q this time. He's also going to Starfall on top of Elyoya, so they're looking for even more than this. Moen is even further away from his base, but does manage to lay down the ulti, and that is the shutdown onto Ona. Maybe T1 have pushed a little far forward, as also Carrier will be falling. Faker's there, not going to be too weird.
I mean, they're going to get two
inner third in the top lane. Doran doing the same thing bottom lane.
Yeah, Faker's been PvEing this game, and one of the big E's to get is that Hextech Soul. He's going to come over here with his jungler, as T1 otherwise just 3-manning here in mid. Carrier looking for more.
Okay, well, Ona can turn up at a moment's notice, but Faker is going to take a little while longer. Never mind, he's teleporting in. Alvaro flashes out the Pop Blossom onto everyone in that red pit. And down goes JoJo. Super's just getting out of there, able to use those Hex Gates, and now the rest of MCoY is scattering to the wind. Gumayusi dashing over, and look at that. The beautiful Hextech Soul, ladies and gentlemen. There is no way you can get away from T1. And it's a 10,000 gold lead. It's only a matter of time, as Ona not going to quite be able to execute Super on this one.
Carrier.
Yeah, Carrier just being weird. Does get a solo kill in the end. As Ona just flashed for that, and Carrier said, no, man.
Well, here we go.
Yeah, I guess I kill you all.
It's been mostly about my snares today, but I guess I will find the big Pop Blossom angle in this one, as they get the Dragon for free, as T1 win the numbers disadvantage fight there on the top side. Is the MCoY fans aren't going to give up. I'll give it to you.
Yep, and everyone gets over the wall, and so Carrier's like, well, I have flash, so you're all dead. True Shot Barrage here going to get so much value there from Gumayusi, as maybe it's just a triple. It is not, as Ona is going to be able to secure that last one onto Elyoya. But now it is what feels like a victory march here for T1, as they notice they've taken down the inhibitor in mid. That's all they're going to need to win this game, as Empress Divide from Faker will pick up Super one more time, as Moen is dabbing in between all of T1. And T1 looking pretty serious about defending their title here at EWC, as they will be able to take down their first Nexus of 2025.
T1 looking back saying, please, minions, let's get over here and get it done.
Double super minion wave. That's kind of cool. I thought you needed to take all the inhibitors before that one happens.
Down it goes.
Not when you've got a Nico, as down goes the Nexus. T1 will be able to win game 1 of this best of 3.
Let's not forget, this game started out with a bit of a mid-gap. You know, JoJo had a lot of an advantage there, and I do think that if you didn't watch the early game,
with this Jinx, the amount of peel that you'll get with the Gargoyle and the Cow, and then the double circles, you know, of immunity here on the side of Gwen and the Xin Zhao. In a little bit of trouble here, down to about 300, but still able to offer a lot back. And JoJo could actually just die here. The flash out of the way, one more auto will do it. And yeah, he flashed out of the way of the Q, but then he was really dead. Here on the top side of the map as well, Ona is moving in. He still has the traffic cone. He can still tell Moen that that's not where he's allowed to drive. And it's a bit of an ignite from the grave. The last tick not going to be enough to do it, though.
Those are the types of trades you want to see. I want to see what happened in the beginning of this trade here, as Faker has lane control, gets taunted, and JoJo goes for the extra empowered auto. And that's just what does him in. Flash angle here is nice, but he's just doomed. Like, there's no way he can buy space against this ranged champ. Is trying to min-max the damage there, and Faker's just like, well, it's my turn to crush the lane.
Oh, God. Speaking of my turn, Ona is going to come down and join, as Gumayusi's in a lot of trouble. He's going to go down first. The Super gets excited, and the traffic cone is after the flash. And so the Jinx is going to stay alive on the board and exactly where the money wants to be here for MCoY.
Yeah, you got a supercharger, but I got my supercharge, which is the Ghost, so I'm going to walk out of that pillar. And, well, that's a kill for the Jinx early. What looked like it was going to be a great start for T1. Now a disaster. Carrier!
Yeah, what are we doing?
Doesn't have Ignite.
He needs a Shattering Strike. Does he get it? One more auto, and down he goes. So that's a bit of a solo kill for Carrier. That's a bit of a cute one. Probably not worth it, but does still send him home.
I mean, I think kind of worth, because otherwise Jinx could just take these minions here, and now Guma back in lane. It's actually going to be pretty huge. Otherwise, you know, Supa's gets to walk away there, and Merwin?
Doran still has the teleport, guys. As Merwin, one more auto attack, and he's dead. He was not immune in this top lane, and Doran, oh god, this could really be an Ambessa problem this game. And that is what he's going to continue to do as T1 take their first Drake of the game. That'll be the Hex Tech.
I mean, Faker,
so not another Hex Tech, so that's good news, I guess.
Faker's just chilling. The range of this Jinx and how well Supa has been positioned, man. There's so many near hits. There's so many near lockdowns onto this Jinx, and he just is able to get out every time as JoJo.
Faker could be in a lot of trouble here. He does have Flash available, gets that phase rushes. Now flashes in and
Sick
gets
flash.
out with the Realm Warp. That was so sexy, Faker.
We've seen this so many times for Faker, where he walks out and then flashes back into the Realm Warp at the last possible second to get out there, and he will live just barely. Still a huge win here for MCoY.
The flash, and JoJo just going to punish him.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. But, I mean, the other play looked really cool, and I think cutting the video before the Winds of War comes out is going to be really easy in the highlight package, so it'll be fine. Elioya moving on in.
I mean, this is a huge angle here for MCoY to potentially get a kill. And Plate Gold, at least, is also on the menu.
Oh, Guma going to have to flash out of the way of the Flame Chomp as the Supercharger does come on in. JoJo looking to try and get that knock up, but they didn't even require it to land, as now Carrier just wanting to take one of them away. Super Mega Death Rocket comes on in, not able to lock down the kill, but Carrier is still dead, and it still goes over to the Jinx, exactly where MCoY wants the money. Super's been playing really well. His positioning, his spacing has been phenomenal. That's allowed MCoY to do exactly what they need to do. Doran now in potentially a bit of trouble, but as you saw there, just one ability doing so much. Public Execution down towards this bottom side as Elioya not actually able to utilize that Crescent Guard effectively. JoJo down to 300. The Traffic Cone says no, as Faker will be able to take down the Gargoyle. Elioya soon to follow, and T1, they answer the few good things that happened for MCoY previously really well here in the bottom lane.
I remember Merwin did not have teleport, so it's not done yet.
Well, there's the Pulverizer, connects onto two as Super is once again doing everything he can to get as much damage as possible. Albro with that Unbreakable Will. Super Mega Death Rocket means the Carrier is dead. The Zap connects onto Faker, and the Pulverize comes on down. That's going to be enough to get another couple of kills for this Jinx.
I mean, the story of this game, the series potentially going to 3, might just be that T1 did not respect this Jinx player. They just keep going into these incredibly greedy and risky fights where Supa just outpositions and is able to, with the help of his support in this case, get it. Now, the initial fight here, remember, there's no ultimate for the Galio, so JoJo Pyong can't actually ult in. He's already with Elioya anyways, but he's not going to be able to buy any additional time here. The Crescent Guard has to be used early. There's no teleport for the Gwen, so I think fighting here down a member was not the right call. After this is a big win here for T1, they get incredibly greedy, right? They're able to take out Elioya, but what happens next is they decide, okay, we're going to split here. We're going to send, of course, our top laner back to the side lane, and then they go in on the Supa, who just baits them in. Alvaro is still here.
Oh no,
Carrier
and
Magnets
teleported to mid lane.
Yeah, he just left because he's like, I gotta go back to sides, and at the same time, Carrier Magnet Storm's only an Alistair, and then when this Jinx gets accelerated, you're not gonna get away from her. 2 kills over to Supa, he's now up to 4.
Oh dear. Doran has now made it back down towards his bottom lane, and Carrier's like, I can help, and then he is not actually
Sorry,
able to
5.
help. 5, 1, and 2 here for Supa.
This game may just be over, Atlas. Like, if this continues, I mean, Faker has a significant lead in this game for sure, don't get me wrong, and he's going to do a lot of damage later, but he's going for the Rod of Ages build, as Rise is wont to do, and this Jinx is just, frankly, too big to fail. He gets more plate gold here. Solo is going to get the entire turret here, all plates in the bottom lane before plates fall off. This Jinx could not be more accelerated. This Jinx could not be more ahead. 2,500 approximately the lead here he has over this Kaisa. And it's just really challenging from this point on. Not impossible, but very tricky as Doran is going to hide this TP, but he's coming in.
Yeah, he is going to join. We've got a bit of a 5v5 here. They have to get on top of Super if T1 wants to win a team fight. That's
Throw it
it.
on the flank.
And JoJo also off to the side. There's the Pulverize on top of T1. The Magnastorm this time is really good. As Super flashes away, he stays alive for so long, but Gumayusi finally gets on top of him. They take down the key target, but can they actually win the fight? That's the question, because Guma's also dead. Doran is so low that he cannot stay in this fight as the needlework is doing everything it needs to. It's a double kill now for the Xin Zhaos. Now Doran looking for it here on Alvaro, and Faker locks down the kill. Elyoya now trying to push forward. These health bars are so low. The crash down is perfect, and Doran stays alive. Moa not able to close the gap. And T1, how the hell did you do that?
I mean, Faker's got phase rush here. He's going to walk into melee range, though.
Surely isn't the engagement over? The engagement's over, right? There it is. Thank you very much. Super Mega Death Rocket, not enough damage just yet.
Faker then does a little bit of a funky thing where he walks back in, but he realm warps out. It's okay.
Oh dear. In the interruption on the crash down here means the carrier is likely just dead as he looks to try and make his way out, but was caught there as he took a little detour. Alvaro may be in a little bit of trouble himself, though, but does have the Unbreakable Will, does need to invest it. As Rift Herald down here in this mid lane. One good thing for MCoY was that they were able to take that objective, but it's not able to knock down this outer turret. As MCoY, they also got feats of strength by being able to take that Rift Herald as well. So
they're going to grab
more of these objectives available for them.
They're going to grab this Dragon too, Faker. So yes, it's 2 items versus 2 items here for the AD carry, but we've talked about the range so much, I don't really need to beat it into you guys anymore, but I am still concerned despite T1 taking that fantastic fight before. I don't know if they're going to get that chance every time as Carrier once again caught.
Yep, I've seen this one before as Carrier doesn't have his flash and doesn't have a chance to get out. So he's just going to die for a 5th time. He trading his life for information, I guess, guys, is what I'm going to say.
And the gold graph is crazy because T1 have won some phenomenal fights despite the deficit to keep it lower, but the Jinx is still a big problem that I think they're still going to have to solve. And like I said before, leading into that fight, you're not always going to get that Doran ult on top of Supa as JoJo is the target.
No. There's public execution as JoJo should be going down here. He does flash, try and get himself out of the way, is now Alvaro going to once again put Carrier into a 1v3. Oh no, this poor horse lady is Gumayusi looking for Super. He dives in on top. There is the defense from JoJo, but still T1 are pushing forward even after Carrier going down. The AoE from this Kaiser is massive. Faker as well doing so much work, but maybe it's not enough because Moen gets in there with the scissors and will be able to cut them up. Ona now walking away with about 50 health, and we'll see whether he does make the great escape. It looks like the answer is potentially, as he looks to get an execute.
Yeah, I think
he's
he
been
waits
out
a
of
second.
combat
He
for
gets
long
the
enough.
execute. I think he does.
Yep. There it is.
Yeah, well played. Not the end of the world for MCoY because they still win the fight, still win it swimmingly. Slow start the Otacon here, try to clear vision, but this buys time for MCoY to come back over for the contest. This is going to be a pivotal moment in this second game.
Yep, it's going to be, it should be an honest 5v5 as JoJo making his way over as well, very close to having that heroic entrance back off cooldown as Elyoya looking to make his way in 400 health and he steals it! Super Mega Death Rocket not going to connect, and now the Realm Warp going to get T1 to safety, but they do not get those petals and the Otacon buff this time around. Gold is even, but those stats are not going to be so.
Faker has a Realm Warp, and he is on this flank angle here, but the T1 vision is extremely limited, as you can see here.
Yep, no idea on the health bar of this Dragon, as we can see. Vicarian making his way in. The flash comes forward, and there's the pickup from Doran as he gets into the backline once again. But the Pulverize is on top of this Rel. Super is the target. There's the zooming Gumayusi able to lock that one down as he's kiting gorgeously. JoJo finally gets that punch of justice on top of him, and now Moen is there in melee range against Faker and does get that snip. Doran needs to kill 3 people. He's getting decently close, but another knock-up from JoJo. And this guy, he really is the saver of Europe, isn't he? As even on the Galio, he's able to win out the team fight.
Oh, absolutely. A phenomenal fight here to try to set up a big magnet storm despite not having flash. He's got better flash.
Well, Elyoya is going to be here, so it's likely to be pretty close to a 50-50, even if there aren't quite as many members of MCoY. 5 seconds until the teleport can be available from JoJo, but it's down to 2,000, and this time Ona, he's able to lock down the smite. The King's Tribute keeps him healthy as well, but not healthy enough, and he's going to be left out to the Wolves as T1 say, Ona for a Baron? Yeah, we'll take those.
I think they will take it. Since then, it's been Guma has been able to, even with Supa's fantastic positioning, find those angles, and he needs to continue to do so. 10 seconds here until what will be Chemtech Soul for MCoY. Carrier goes in.
Yeah, Magnus Storm onto just one. They were looking for Elioya, but there's the Shattering Strike. Heroic Entrance comes on down as MCoY have all grouped up. Faker going golden, Merwin looking for him once again. A Super off to the side, but it's Gumayushi going golden in the backline and then eventually just explodes. This is not what T1 wanted. It's in fact an absolute disaster. As MCoY just put them down, they say that was a nice attempt, I guess, guys, and they will look to try and break open the base. They can take a soul, and I think, Wolf, we are going to a third game.
I think we're going the distance on this one. Supa sitting at full health. A desperate attempt there from Carrier and T1 with the Realm Warp flank, but Supa just will not go down. There's too much peel, too much protection, and he is just lasering them down now. The inhibitor will fall, and MCoY poised to end game 2 to bring us to a third.
Yep, Carrier looking to try and stop them, but he's barely even a distraction here as Doran, the same story. Gets a cute little shield, but these Nexus turrets are still going to fall. The Nexus follows suit, and MCoY, they are still in it. They will be able to take down this second Nexus of the series. Only one away from semifinals and joining their brethren. One of the problems is that they do now move back over to the red side. T1 back on their favorite side for game number 3 if they would like it. But still, anything could happen. Time for us to take a short break. When we get back into the Jacks from Doran, this is looking like a way more T1 composition on the blue side this time around in game number 3. But I think MCoY no slouches in what they've got for themselves. He's been very patient, as we can see. There it is. And yep, another one. Oh my goodness. Yeah, doubling your advantage.
Nobody's ever gotten a triple before. Not in a pro game.
Look at how patient he is, man.
Gosh, he got him!
Oh goodness. 3 gold?
That he has in the bottom side. River.
Yeah. Bit of a tempo heal is what it kind of felt like there.
Uh-oh, Jojo.
In a lot of trouble. The Orb of Deception comes down. The Flash is going to be traded here as Faker also taking some damage from that turret. Also still manages to get the cannon. That's the most important thing. But man, and Gumayushi down to about 250 as Ono looking for an angle. No flashes, remember. As Faker still with the teleport, wasn't actually able to go back home, and Jojo just gets stunned into the wall. The minions run out, the gravity well is there, and there is first blood over to the GOAT.
We've seen this so many times for Jojo where he gets a huge lead, but doesn't respect the fact that the jungler can come over and turn things around as, oh boy, Doran way up himself.
He is, and Doran, can he get out of this? It's going to, no, the answer is going to be probably not, but he does have Flash, so he might be able to utilize it. I'm just saying hopefully he doesn't, and he then does immediately afterwards. Gets a counter-strike though, and there he is, he's able to get out. Leap strike to the minions as they come in. And T1 continuing to put on the pressure. You were talking about lane dominance. That is all continuing here, especially with that huge chunk as the Blight is procced. There's a flash forward, though, as they get the flag and drag. Gravity well goes down, but the charm is so good. Faker actually able to walk it off, though, and Elioya once again underneath the turret. Owner takes the kill, and it's highway robbery from T1 in this mid lane.
I mean, how many times do we have to talk about the Faker taunt at international tournaments?
Oh my god.
And it's just once again so close, but not enough. They're both top laners teleportless, so at best case scenario in terms of champions we're going to see is a 4v4 here on the top side, but Elioya looks uninterested completely here, wants to look for a Cataclysm play here at level 6 onto Doran.
Yeah, surely Doran's not going to be able to make his way out this time as the all-out comes on through. Decent amount of value there with the counter-strike, but not enough as Elioya just throws down the Cataclysm and manages to finish him off.
After that show bottom side, T1 could just say, well, there's no jungler here, we have the numbers advantage, and we're going to take these grubs in return, so it's not going to be without cost here.
Getting the start on it a little while back. You can see picture in picture, very, very close to going down, and it doesn't look like T1 is going to be able to stop it. So there it is, the first Ocean going to be taken here. Next Dragon going to be that Hextech.
You know, it's
pretty scary.
It ends up being fairly even. You know, the kill goes over to Elioya, right? They are able to push Doran out of the side lane. They get the dragon in trade for the grubs since it's a late first dragon here. But I kind of favor, because it is a Jax, T1's position here is Jojo getting the charm.
Yeah, really nice charm there as the Spirit Rush, still a couple of charges. As Faker wanting to be able to get that shield back down to 100 now as Jojo goes back in. The Arcane Storm doesn't work, and there it is, a shutdown from Jojo. Solo kill onto Faker.
The flash was really well timed there from Jojo. Gets that final auto, gets the reset, his health back, and we'll just kite the minions back to the turret. And finally, this time he got Faker for real. Has now shored up some of that mid lane deficit down to just 100 gold. So go back to the play itself. Look at this. Goes into point blank range here through the minions. Gets on top of Faker. I think Faker feeling confident with those minions there. Doesn't have the flash, of course. Gets the return Q there. That's huge. That's the damage he needs. Gets in with the Foxfire. Flashes out. Gets the reset. Gets the heal.
Yeah, getting the essence back as well. Making sure that it wasn't even close. Millen, he's Cassante. We've seen some Cassantes be pretty powerful, but the Comet wasn't there last time. That's going to be what finishes him off.
You know, it could just be one team fight that brings MCoY back into this, but I'm loving T1's position so far.
Yep. Of course, MCoY not out of it just yet, but as you were saying, T1 looking better this time around. But we haven't seen any honest fights just yet. As Ono looking to maybe stop that one as the Gravity Well comes in, the all-out from Mo and gets him out of that. As now Faker just going to have to try and walk his way out, and he's not going to be able to do so. Decides instead that he needs to kill the wave, and he will manage to do that. But Moen with another solo kill. Faker really kind of falling apart at the seams here in this game 3.
Would be a pipe dream at this point.
Yeah, especially without an R button available. So Alvaro just going to get escorted towards his outer turret.
Cloud.
There goes the dragon. There's a Cloud Soul. There it is. That's my T1. They love their Cloud Souls, much like I do. As now Grimyushi going to be pushed over towards the side with the rest of his teammates.
The Tom Kench, who's also going to love that. So, Area, speaking of Tom Kench, interrupted.
Yeah, going to try and get himself out of here as the Gravity Well does come on through. He needs to eat that Grey Health, and he does do so. The Piercing Arrow working out so well here for Grimyushi and Elyoya. Unfortunately, it just didn't have the damage. Keria ate all of it and said, all right, what's next?
Every time.
Didn't have an answer.
This is why it's so frustrating to play against T1. Every time you think they made a mistake. And with that commitment bottom side, I mean, Faker has TP, doesn't have to use it here. And they just get the Herald, excuse me, for free. Because they just know there's no contest. Elyoya also on the bottom side of the map. You're showing on vision. And T1 are going to go, okay, well, Herald plus turret, thank you very much.
Oh, dear. So, Moen, he is not going to die or anything like that, but he will lose his turret here on the top side of the map and all of the minions.
Yeah, Doran's going to say, I'll let the turret kill the minions before I take it out with my 3 grubs on this Jax that now has a 300 gold lead.
Yeah, 3,000 is the lead here for T1, but there is a lot of other things as well that they have built up for themselves. Now Jojo possibly in trouble. Keria comes in, doesn't land the Abyssal Dive, but it's still a decent amount of damage as now Elyoya comes forward. This time Keria might be dying, gets a Devour, and then dies. That's the plan. Didn't have flash, didn't have a way out.
Yeah, and Jojo is going to use his ult. So we'll need to get out of there now as the siege onto this turret will likely mean T1 trades that death for a turret.
Yeah, this is interesting though. There's not a lot for them to fight for.
I mean, Owner has Impale.
Yeah, but there are 3 people here. That's a lot of bad guys. Gets the double suppress though, as the Impale is going to be utilized. Arcane Storm making sure that MCoY get out of there. The boulders connecting as well as the Death Ray. Not going to land the second time.
I mean, Jojo is too low to impact this play.
Oh, God. Well, Alvaro is going to find Grimyushi, but Grimyushi is just going to put him in the ground. Now the Gravity Well comes through yet again, and Grimyushi is dead. Super comes over and says, you cannot just be overextended all game, T1.
Like angry wasps after a disturbed nest to come over and clear T1 out. Doran is going to look for this inner turret, but he may pay with his life.
Well, let's see whether he gets a cute little leap strike off as Super is waiting. The ulti comes through, he flashes as Jojo will be able to get over this wall, but he's going to be alone. The charm connects, and that will mean that MCoY will be able to kill the Jax. So nicely played. Almost the great escape there from Doran.
Well, this Jarvan is still significantly relevant, and we'll use the gold pretty well, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a cross-map turret this time for sure for T1, right? I think this time they get it, and they make it even more.
Well, that is Moen getting devoured. And trying to stay alive, he does do so. Buys time for the cavalry to turn up. Chains of Corruption on top of him as well. It's finally Grimyushi gets himself in there as Jojo not able to find it in the sidesteps. A beautiful here from the AD carry from T1. Elsewise, on the other side of the fight, T1 are getting lower and lower, but they will get themselves out of there just with a Cassante.
His Cataclysm was like 3 seconds away. He didn't have it to get on top of Guma, and Guma just Ghost Blades out. Absorbs Jojo Pyun there with the Edge of Night as well. Just knows he can walk up to that Ahri and is relatively safe. Now, Elyoya and crew are looking for this dragon. He does have his Cataclysm back. Faker's TPing in. Doran, the first to go in.
He's just going to dive forward into 4 people. Counter-strike now on cooldown means that he's just going to die here. And now Faker getting in amongst it as well. Down to 1,500 is this dragon, and there is the smite from Elyoya. Finally, the cavalry will arrive, and Gumayusi, not a lot of threat here on top of him. He's going to be chasing out Elyoya, who gets into that brush. Finally, he will find it, and the rest of T1 are looking to tear them apart as well, but it's Super that does so. He gets one of them off the back end, but finally falls, and it's Gumayusi's Varus that's looking like it's spelling victory here for T1 in Game 3.
Yeah, this is just starting to become too much of a lead here for T1. When the Varus has the Edge of Night and has a lead like this, like, how do you ever kill him? How do you ever surprise him? How do you ever say, hey, like, you're out of position, we found it?
Catching them on an Otacon could certainly be an opportunity here as Carrier looking for that dive angle, but Merwin, he's also trying to get himself in there. Now going to get out. The double suppression is so good here from Ona. The hail of arrows to proc all the blight, and it's a double for Gumayusi. Down goes the jungler, down goes the other smite as well, and that is going to mean even more power over to T1.
You can feel the regret all the way over in the European Union about not banning that Varus in this game.
Oh dear. This guy pretty good at the Varus. As Carrier just looking to support as a Storin that takes down Super inside the base of MCoY. And this feels like it's not just an Otacon going down. It's like the whole game just exploded in favor of T1 as they'll break open the base. They'll take an inhibitor. And what more are they going to gain here as the bounties have now been set up? Jojopion towards the bottom side of the map wants to get a piece of that pie.
As they push the mid lane, Owner starts up this dragon alone. Guma will help him take it, and then they can go straight towards the top side of the map with Carrier's reset here to start clearing up that Baron Vision. The top inhibitor gives them that extra pressure for Doran.
They take the 15 years it costs to kill him. It's just really, really difficult because he can just kind of go wherever he would like.
I mean, Jojo's just sitting on the side. Maybe this time he'll join. Maybe he can find a flank angle. They didn't clear all the vision. They didn't clear all the wards. Maybe there's an angle, but T1 are just giving them no quarter in this game. There's that TP.
All right, here's the angle. They get the flash out of Gumayusi. That is a big deal. And he is still very, very low. Not a lot of lifesteal available here for the Varus either. So a big opportunity now for MCoY. The problem is the rest of T1 are also really dangerous as Merwin tries to go all out. And Guma is just holding that position. Arcane Storm down onto Jojopion. He's trying to get out. And he is going to be able to do so. It's Doran that leaps across the side. Then goes Golden. Merwin dashing around the fight as well. And Doran is still moving forward. The wallets, I feel, are just that little bit too heavy as T1 will be able to once again win out the fight, even though that looked closer than it had any right to be.
It was a heroic last stand from MCoy. They get the charm. They get the follow-up from Alvaro. But this base is now in tatters. Owner goes in.
Nice little charm onto Doran there to be able to take him down. But it is going to cost a whole lot more, and probably the Nexus here for MCoy, as the first seed from Europe will bite the dust, and our title defenders in T1 move to the semifinals.
It was not an easy battle here for T1. It was a lot more hard fought than I think most expected coming into this series.
Head high and go home and really reflect on your learnings and come back stronger for Worlds, because we will be waiting for you over at the LDC.